So then this kind of begs the question of, is there a neuron that other people have put in your head about this other person who maybe they've never heard or seen? And I know a lot of people, like you say, let's just say Tucker Carlson. He's very famous. And I know Tucker personally. He's a delight. He's a very delightful person. He's very friendly and he's very easygoing. Now, the ladies from The View have a different opinion of Tucker Carlson. And so if you watch The View, you're going to find out that he's Putin's lackey and that he hates the gay community. Is that neuron put in your head about Tucker Carlson without ever without engaging with Tucker Carlson?
Yes, and I'm so glad you brought this up because so the brain and your nervous system is designed for 5 things. Sensation, right? Just translating light into electrical signals, et cetera, or sound into electrical signals. So sensation, perception, which are the sensations you pay attention to, feelings, emotions, thoughts, and actions. That's pretty much it. But the incredible thing is that it needs to do all that in real time, and it needs to be able to rule out certain information. So the way the nervous system works, the way your brain works, is it loves to represent things in terms of symbols, because symbols are a very efficient way to represent the world. So I don't walk into this room and look at every tiny detail. I just go, okay, microphone, soundbox, show host, et cetera. And there's a symbol of what this is about. Now, in the case of Tucker Carlson, I know who you're referring to. I have an image of him in my mind, and I have my own set of interpretations about what he's about that could be modified if I'm open-minded, so to speak. Let's take like extreme symbolism, a swastika, for instance. Right. For many people, there's an immediate symbolism around that. Or let's take a very different symbol, the American flag. Or let's say Russian flag. And all of a sudden, you're getting categories, menus of your experience, right? Because again, the brain is this predictive machine. So can you shape what other people batch under that symbol? Absolutely. So if you present to me, this morning I looked in the paper and I saw I think it was one of Trump's guys who was like getting into trouble about something that happened. And they all kind of look alike to me, all those guys. They all look like they spent a lot of time in New York, overate, overdrank. A couple of them are fit. This is kind of my schema, my symbol of them. And basically it's just falling into a category of people that worked for him, as opposed to if you told me, I know that guy, and actually he's going through a pretty rough divorce right now, or his kid has autism or something like that. All of a sudden that category changes. It humanizes him in a way. So we can humanize or dehumanize symbols very easily simply by telling people things that are emotionally powerful about that individual, good or bad. And this is the way that media works in general nowadays. Throw some emotional log on the fire. And when I say emotional, it's something that I think it was Elon Musk that said this, so I'm robbing him of this, but I'll credit him at the same time, which is that the more limbic, the more primitive an emotion, the more rapidly we can modify the symbol of that person. And this is what media does all the time. So make it limbic. If I tell you, that guy, he was a great, this Trump lawyer guy, or he wasn't a lawyer, but he's getting in trouble. He's a soccer coach for kids locally. I go, okay, what big deal? A lot of people are soccer coaches. That's nice. But if you tell me, and there was some kind of thing with a kid, I'm not actually saying this, by the way, to be clear, and it's a little unclear what happened, but it's not good. All of a sudden, you just put him deep into the dark shadows of my symbolism of that person. Whereas if you tell me, he does a lot of important work, humanitarian work, and he does this purely out of his own interest. He doesn't seek any credit for it whatsoever, devotes a lot of his finances. So all of a sudden he moves into the light, right? So very limbic type things. And it has nothing to do with him. It all has to do with how I perceive those types of things. It's all, when they say it's all about us, in the end, there's only the internal. It's true. Everything in between your ears, it's all internal. None of it is actually based on real information in the outside world.